What's up, guys? My name is Jomel Socorro,
My name is Jarron Gaddis.
and we are the Wannabe Boo podcast, bringing you the latest and greatest game and anime news, reviews, and waifus for life. Welcome to episode 58, I believe so?
Yes.
58.
Oh, we're doing this gag again where we don't know what episode it is.
I mean, I honestly don't know what episode we're on anymore. Shit.
Let me go to YouTube.
They're not numbered, Jarron.
What?
They're not numbered on YouTube.
Fuck you. I don't know then. Probably 58. Maybe it's 74. Maybe it's 69. Nice.
I don't think we're that far yet.
No.
I know we're in the 50s. You know.
Yeah. I think it might be actually 58.
But, I mean, I have to check. But if you were to check us out on our listening platforms, like Jarron, if you could.
Listening platforms.
I'm trying to segue here, right?
Right. If you want to find us, chat with us, just talk to us in general. We're lonely. Please do. You can find us on Facebook. Just search Wannabeeboo. That's WANNABEABOO on Facebook or on Twitter. And if you want to listen to us, find us on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Google Play, iTunes, the Stitcher app, and any other place I might have picked up a podcast or RSS feed.
Look at that. I still haven't figured out what podcast we're on. Oh yeah, we are on 58.
Hey.
Okay. Look at that. So, welcome to episode 58. And to continue off of that shameful advertising segue, if you're also
shameful, we want to communicate with our community.
That's true, and we also gotta let them know where we're from and where they can find us. But if they're also interested in some merch, I still haven't updated the story. I gotta do that. But we still have some basic Wannabeeboo merch. You got sweaters, T-shirts, and a pair of socks you can buy. So cop yourself a nice pair of socks, and head on down and listen to us talk about things for an hour and a half or so.
Well, it's not just things, Jomel. It's anime.
That's true.
About anime is that
what?
It's cool. I don't know. I had something there, but it left. But anyway, before we get into the main topic today, we wanted to, touch upon a little of the game side of the podcast because we haven't talked about that in a very long time.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I recently finished Kingdom Hearts 3. I know I'm late to the party.
Very late. About like a month late, probably.
Pretty far gone because I didn't buy it until like 2 weeks ago.
Damn.
Maybe a week ago. And like, all right. So as a fan from Kingdom Hearts that's played most of the games except for Recoded and the mobile game. I think there might be one more. I didn't finish Chain of Memories, but whatever. It was a good conclusion. I saw people say like, "Oh yeah, there was a bunch of plot holes," and I'm like, I mean, kind of, but they still, paved over them as best they could, and
let's be honest, Kingdom Hearts is a plot hole game in a sense.
I mean, yeah, but again, they took a cement paintbrush and just kind of over everything. It was like, yeah, all that's done now. We're great. We're good. We're cool. And then they had the audacity to hit you with some shit after the fucking credits. I'm like, literally, what the fuck is going on? Like, they said, all right. They said, all right, we're done with this game. Here's the next game, but it's going to be with Sora and Riku in Tokyo. I'm like, what? What? Where are we? What happened?
What universe are we in?
I don't fucking know. Like, something with some of the organization members, the ones that weren't really that important, but were there. Or didn't become good, but still remained evil, whatever's. They're involved, and there's some people in animal masks. And
they're from the mobile game side of things.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're like
the people in masks.
Yeah, I forgot what they're called, but like they were heavily that was like the first kind of organization kind of thing set up back in the day. Like that was like the first thing that was set up. Since the mobile game is like actually the first thing that happens in the timeline, I guess.
I also want to say, all right, I mean, I plan on doing a video about Kingdom Hearts, attempting to wrap up the everything, like real layman terms, what the story was about.
Oh God, I want to see how long that video is gonna be.
It's not gonna take that long. I literally broke it down for myself in like 10 minutes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And because you can essentially skip over some of the games because they don't matter. Well, they matter, but not like matter.
Yeah, I mean, I heard, they're all still relevant though, aren't they?
They're relevant because they all have pieces into the final story.
Right.
But like, for example, you can skip the mobile game because outside of a few Easter eggs, the actual Keyblade War itself, and I guess whatever the fuck happened in Yorha, whatever the fuck they want to call that cutscene at the end of the game, it didn't matter because I guess slight spoiler alert, when you're fighting the organization at the end, I guess the main character from the first one from the mobile game shows up and helps you like use all the keyblades in the area to fight a giant shadow ball, which was cool. That was a really cool scene. He just kind of shows up and is like, hey, you need some help, and then goes away, and then keyblades start raining from the sky, and you're all cool for a little bit, and then you immediately get back into trouble. The ending was very Deus Ex Machina, if anything. But it's all right. Like I said, I'll explain in the video. What else? I guess the whole animal masks thing, whatever that is, and then, like I said, the Keyblade War itself, which was, long story short, hey, we want more power. Okay, fight over these Keyblades that do something with Kingdom Hearts. All right, and then that was the lore. So yeah, it's Kingdom Hearts is a fucking weird game, if anything, and I'm kind of upset that they're setting up a fourth game that seems to have literally nothing to do with the rest of the game. Literally nothing.
Although that's gonna be another 20 years from now, John.
But see, here's the thing. It seems like they're gonna, because there was barely any Final Fantasy representation in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Really? That's fascinating.
Right. There was the Moogle. There was like a Cactuar statue. Obviously, all the spells and stuff. But like, there was no there was no Cloud. There was no Leon. There was nobody.
Really?
No, and no pun intended on the nobody part. But there was no like actual fucking Final Fantasy character, unless you count Sora and all his fucking spiky-haired friends.
That's fascinating. I thought they would at least put some people from 15 in like a bit of a crossover,
But I'm thinking they're gonna get the representation in this next one because again, it seems like they're in a whole nother like universe, like a whole nother.
I mean, besides the Disney universe,
they're gone. Like that's not see. Here's the thing: they've gone through all the Disney movies that they can now,
right?
Unless they revisit a few where they do the actual story for like what is it? Toy Story or I don't know, a couple others, because a lot of the places they just followed what the story was.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think it's just gonna be a lot less Disney, way more Square Enix. Okay. And then we're gonna get your Final Fantasy characters doing their edgy shit. Lightning probably gonna get a lot of 15 representation because that was nowhere to be seen. There wasn't even they even did like a little cup noodle thing, and I'm like, all right, there it is. But no, they didn't even have that. So yeah, expect the next one to be super Final Fantasy E.
Oh yeah, it's true. No, the next one being like maybe 10 years from now, maybe.
Yeah, no, 20. They're gonna continue to jerk us around. Or how about this, Jomel?
Okay.
It took 13 years because they were developing both games at the same time.
Oh man, E3 is gonna be one hell of a shit show then.
Oh, it sure.
Oh no, not even. I think it might even just be like a fucking like. Well, depends who's expecting that.
Sony and fucking
EA.
EA right? Are skipping out, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Square's still there, right?
I think so. I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah. So, hopefully, E1 will get some more information on that.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, overall, what did you think, Jarron? How was your overall experience with it? Not overall, but like, what did you like it? Did you?
Someone that has played many of the games before, it did what I needed to do. It wrapped up the story, kind of. I mean, wrapped up the story, but they didn't finish it. They started something else that they didn't need to. So I'm a little butthurt about that. There was a lot of things that could have been done better, particularly, like, a lot of people don't like the voice acting, but I argue that it was never good. So, you can't bash it there.
Yeah, it's always Kingdom Hearts voice acting has always had that kind of charm.
Stiffness. Yeah, that's what it is. It's literal stiffness. Sora was better than all the other ones. He actually felt like an actual person sometimes. But, everyone else was just kind of there. And then fucking Kairi, goddamn, like, they're setting her up like, oh, she's one of the Guardians of Light, she's gonna do her Keyblade training, she's cute, gonna be Sora's, obviously she's his love interest, blah 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 blah. And then it's like, all right, well, she's literally not gonna do anything in the story ever at all except one time, and then that's it. And then she's just gonna keep getting in the way, and then she's not gonna do anything. That was her role in the whole fucking game, and that made me upset. She literally did nothing. Almost literally did nothing. But again, I ran for another time. How about you, Jomel? What have you been up to in the gamosphere?
In the gamosphere?
Ew,
well,
a gross word right there.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I mean, in terms of games, I've been getting back into Destiny 2. So. All
right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's hey, it's actually okay. It's not as bad as, like, let's say Anthem, for example. Personally, I haven't actually played Anthem. I was tempted to. I was actually about to gonna buy Anthem, and then I just kept watching videos and watching other people talk about their experiences with it, and
keep shitting on it, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't end up buying it, but our good friend Martrell, he did end up buying the game, and breezing through the main story in like collective effort of 6 hours maybe.
That's not a long campaign at all.
It really isn't. And then the thing is too, one of the main like crutches of that entire game so far, from what he's told me, is that end game is pretty much little or non-existent at this point.
Well, I expect that because the game just came out.
Well, it's not even just. I mean, it's not even just like. But I mean, even with that into perspective, there's not a lot you can actually do. Like in terms of end game, there's not like nothing new, but there's nothing you can do repeatedly that's productive. That's what I'm trying to say. Like they even though it doesn't, obviously it's a new game and doesn't have a lot of end game stuff. The thing is though, the stuff they have now isn't even worth like replaying or even worth grinding in general. So I mean, because a lot of people compared it to like Destiny 1's launch and all that, but even Destiny 1 actually had actual end game to grind over to get ready for. I mean, even one of the big things was a raid, and it doesn't even come with a raid day one. And I think as of right now, there still isn't any kind of like big raid or big like event so far out right now. I mean, they are planning all that stuff, but from what you said, the entire experience of Anthem, it's kind of like it's like a boring Iron Man game.
Boring Iron Man, even though you can like be all cool and like fucking fly. I mean, obviously, my boner for that game comes from the fact that you can fly, even though it's a limited amount of time. It's the fact that you can still fly. It's cool.
And I mean, not just fly, but like also like there's like certain pockets of like water you can like dive down, and like there's like an underwater part of the map, and then you can transfer from like water to like air and all like little detailed stuff.
Right. The movement in the game looked good, and then the actual like fighting and stuff, fighting the
combat,
like the mobs and I guess the bosses look pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean it has what Anthem has. It's got a good base. The thing is though, they didn't fill that base to the brim with shit to do.
So they got the foundation, but they didn't put up the walls.
Exactly, and they decided to release the foundation or release a house without giving it any walls at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
because I mean, didn't they release it way earlier than they should have?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they honestly did. Like they should have at least let it cook for like at least a year to even just get some content racked up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And at least the end game would have been a lot more fun and or at least a lot more productive after you finish the campaign.
Right.
And there was one thing too. I mean, one of the and the other like little things, but it piles on over time is the loading screens. That's like a common thing I hear about everyone else's experiences.
All right. Well, is that? I mean, loading screens aren't fair. I mean, yes, it's annoying to have long loading screens. It takes you out the experience, but like, I don't think they meant to have it for this generation of consoles.
Probably not, but see, I don't mind long loading screens either, depending on like if it's like me going from one major event to another, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like from a HUD or like a going to and from a location point or something, right? But the annoyances where I hear these loading screens are more prevalent there. It's like it's every little step. Like where there's a loading screen, there should not be a loading screen. For what Marcel told me, it's kind of like what is it? Going into like the HUD area, that's a long loading screen. Going to your suit to customize it, that's a loading screen. Coming out of that editing suit HUD area, that's a loading screen, and then getting out, that's another loading screen. And apparently there's a lot of loading screens that don't really need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of inconvenient places.
Right.
I mean, it wouldn't be bad if they were like short and just general loading screen, but no, these are like long. Like what we're talking like maybe what's that one game? Well, actually like D1. No, a little bit worse than Destiny 1's loading screens back in the day, and those are long as hell too.
Really, Jesus Christ. I don't know. I honestly feel bad for Anthem because it's a great idea. I mean, people when they first announced it, were like, oh, it's just gonna be Destiny, Warframe, blah blah blah, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but those games are fucking what Warframe's essentially just Ninja Call of Duty in space, and then Destiny's Call of Duty, but also Overwatch.
Oh, and combined with what's it called? Yeah.
And you're immortal.
Roughly, technically, you're immortal. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, every game's a copy of another thing, so it's like
but it depends on who does it better in a sense.
It does depend on who does it better, and from what I'm understanding, Anthem dropped the ball not so much in the gameplay, but the length. There's nothing to do once you're done with the main campaign, and for an MMO, like is what they're called, is that you should at the very least on launch have your campaign, repeatable missions all the way through, and then at the very end at least 2 or 3 repeatable somethings to constantly grind for gear until the next thing comes out. Because that's the whole thing with like content updates for games like Warframe, Destiny, stuff like that. Of course people aren't going to play the end game over and over all the time forever, so once they have everything, what's the point,
yeah, that's true.
But like you have to have something. You have to have that in-game something take long enough so that once the players finish it, there's maybe 3-4 months until the next content patch.
Right. I mean, not just late, but like it also has to be worth playing constantly. Like you're
next year release another one.
Yeah. And I mean, one of the interesting
things. I don't
know
how they fucking plan it.
That's true.
Really, I don't know. They like you said, they dropped the ball.
I mean, one of the things that Marcel said was that. So I mean, going back to Destiny in a sense.
Yeah.
Last night we played Destiny for a good maybe 3 to 4 hours, just doing quests and grinding stuff. He said that he wouldn't be able to do something like that on Anthem because of the lack of variety of what he can do. Like he could not have probably played as much of Anthem that we did on Destiny.
And
and
that's opening, when it first came out, right?
well, this is after he completed the story.
I mean, yeah,
And
but are you comparing it to like Destiny as it is now, or Destiny back then?
well, even Destiny back then, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's sad. Yet another AAA game done in by rushed efforts. But how were bugs and stuff like that?
Um, in terms of those bug reports, not really a lot of bugs. It's a solid game. It's a solid game when it comes to functionality and the idea it's trying to uphold. It's just you don't do a lot with it. That's the only problem.
Here's a really good question. If you could purchase it again, like for the first time, how much would you pay for it if you had to choose?
30
Free is
bucks.
not an option.
30 bucks. Like I go half of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would pay for the $30 for Anthem as it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be me.
Fair assessment. Fair assessment. I mean, just based on what I heard, I'd say about 30 to 40. Because, I mean, mainly probably 40 because online games tend to need to cost a little bit more unless they do the free to play or subscription model.
Mm.
Which, I did hear before Anthem's or when it came out or just before it came out, people were saying that, or I guess this is just mainly for MMOs in general, that more MMOs should embrace the either buy to play or pay to play model. So that
Can you
way,
explain? Could you explain that
so
model for me?
so if you don't, if for everyone that don't know, including yourself, Jomel, there's three modes of play. There's free to play, pay to
Mm.
play, and buy to play. Free to play is literally that you can download the game and play immediately. No,
Right.
nothing really restricting you outside of, I don't know, you can put money in to look better or go through the game faster or more conveniently, whatever.
Right.
Pay to play is a subscription base. So your old World of Warcrafts or Final Fantasy 14 ish kind of. What other game is pay to play? Any game that has a subscription, basically. Um, and then there's pay to play or buy to play, which is you buy the game for some set amount, and now you have quote unquote full access to it. I say quote unquote because for a game like Black Desert, it's buy to play. It's only like $6. It commonly goes on sale for cheaper, or no, it's $10. And it usually goes on sale for $5 or $6. But there's a tons of shit in the cash shop to make the game actually playable,
Right.
as some of the fans say. Um, and a lot of people are saying that it'd be better for a game to be uh, either buy to play or pay to play or both. Simply because not looking at the accessibility for everyone to get into it because it's free to play,
Mm-hmm.
but like just for the quality control for the rest of its life, the game's life. A good example of that would be Final Fantasy 14, which is both buy to play and pay to play. You have to buy it for like $30-$60. Well, $60 to get all the expansions, 30 to get the base game, and then it needs a subscription on top of it, which is like $13 a month. So it
Okay.
sounds like it's a lot. I mean, it is, but you also have to look at how much quality that game is. Like it's a. Can I get enough C's in this thick? Yeah. Or the way someone from another MMO thing said, thick. Like that is a huge game. I tried to play through it from opening game to end game, and it took me. And this was kind of before I started working, as well as when I started working. It took me like 5 weeks, maybe no more, like 6-7 weeks to actually get to end game.
Oh wow.
And then once you get to not, I don't mean end game as in like, oh, you got all the best gear and some of the best gear in the game. No, when you getting to max level, end game is well after that. Like it's fucking crazy how big that game is. But I mean, that's also because they pad the shit out of it with side quests, and it's fucking. I mean, not side quests, but like the main quests feel like side quests sometimes. Like where there was one instance I remember, like, oh, you defeated a couple like gods. Yeah, we're gonna throw a banquet for you. Hey, fucker, go collect the ingredients for your own banquet. I'm like, what? What am I doing? I, it, some of it's monotonous, but like outside of that, there's so many extra things to do, so many extra dungeons, so many extra quests, like so much shit to do in the game that you see where all the money's going to. Like it's beautiful, it's fucking incredibly populated. There's just so much in that game that it's crazy. But the cash shop is also fucking expensive, which is a problem.
Right, but I mean, but it a lot, but because of the cash out, there's a lot of that is being reinvested into the game.
Well, yeah. So when I say the cash shop is a problem, I just mean like the only real thing you can buy on the cash shop, from my understanding, is just cosmetic stuff.
Right.
Which they still charge an arm and a leg for. But a lot of the basic, quote unquote, base game gear that you just get playing normally or grinding, still looks great. Like, for example, you can get plenty of dragons and phoenixes and lightning unicorns and shit just by playing the game. You don't have to put any money in outside of buying it and the subscription. If you just want the oh, you want to get married in the game, fork up $15. Oh, you want to I don't know, you want to look like a character from any of the other Final Fantasy games, fork over $15. It's kind of shit like that, but like otherwise it's like you can look cool just through sheer effort.
Okay.
In fact, like the game's so thick, there's a fully functional casino. I mean, not with real money, not really that much gambling either, but like it's a big thick casino. It has a fashion show in it where literally like you compete with other people to see who dressed the best. Well, I'm not subscribed right now, so I can't cash in on that. There's, like I said, there's just a lot to do. It's just so much content, and that's where your money's going to. Once you start, you just literally do whatever you want. You're putting your money in, just fucking do it.
Wow, that's 14, right?
Should be either buy to play or pay to play, because it ensures quality.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad system.
Warframe's quality in itself, so I can't judge that one.
Well, yeah, it's because majority of it's free. It is free, right? Mostly. Yeah.
I've played. The hell.
But Jarron.
Yes.
So I mean, but obviously something like was it the pay? Is that buy to play or the 14 system?
It's both buy to play and pay to play.
Okay, and I mean, even without those systems, like the free to play, it could still also work in a free to play setting too. In a sense.
Oh no, it definitely can. Like I mentioned before, like I played Blade and Soul, for example. Blade and Soul, it is free. It's got great combat. It's a beautiful game. You can make your characters real thick, and it's great. And I mean, the story's interesting once you get into it. Mm-hmm. The combat system's pretty deep. The PvP is pretty deep. They keep coming out with new classes, or I mean, I don't remember the last time they came out with one. I think the last one was either the gunner or something else. But right. I mean, I've been off and on in that game for a couple years now. And it's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, but like, you could tell if it had more money, it would be better, because the quest to quest stuff is just kind of shitty. Like the story itself is fine, but like going from zone to zone, just big, decent looking areas that are just kind of empty and don't really have much going on with them outside of the small quests here and there. Whereas a game like Final Fantasy, you go in, there's like in beginning areas, there's level 50 enemies that you could potentially get one shot by, and then come back later when you're fucking stronger and fight them. There's
Mm-hmm.
dungeons that you can repeat and they'll be harder. There's like reasons to go back to beginning level because there's all the crafting stuff that you have to level up separately from your what you are, and like it just I feel like because of the amount of money they put into it, they're able to add in all these things constantly all the time and scale it to be huge. Whereas Blade and Soul is just kind of like, again, good, but it could be much much better than what it is in terms of just the world itself and what there is to do. Um, but I mean, I don't know. I like my free to play games because again, most of them are not, maybe not most of them, but the ones that are Korean or most usually Korean have a nice thick waifu, so I'm content with that.
Mm. Of course. Of
but
course.
but you need more than titties to sell a game. You can get me to play for a little while, but I won't stick with it if the game itself isn't great. For example, there was a game called Scarlet Blade. And it was the one MMO that I've ever played where you can actually be nude.
Okay.
And it was just the worst game I've ever fucking played. It was so bad, but I played it for so long because I was hot. And I should feel ashamed of that I put that much time into it.
All
But I'm
right.
not, because the PvP was actually kind of fun. It didn't make any sense, but the PvP was fun. And like there was like in every hub world there was like this little dance place that automatically unequipped all your armor and made you dance.
Oh
And
God.
when I say unequipped all your armor, it like strips you naked and makes you dance. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this fucking game is 100% full of degenerates. But people played it. It was populated, which was weird. But you know, people like what they like.
Yeah, that's true. People are people.
Yeah. And I think there was like one male class. Everything else was female.
Sounds like your
But
kind of game.
I mean, it wasn't fun.
Hmm.
I can tell you that. I did not have a good time outside of the PvP,
Right.
which is saying something because I don't like PvP. But I guess the game was so bad that I enjoyed the one thing I normally don't like.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's probably. I mean, that says a lot already as it is.
yeah,
So.
it definitely does. So, if there's any game developers out there listening, titties are nice, but we need gameplay as well.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the gameplay is about the titties, then do as you please.
Yeah. I guess. But I mean,
I do hope they make Anthem better,
yeah. I mean, they
but
did.
I
There's
think
there's
it
still
might
there's
already be too. Well, I mean,
there's
people
still the
said that about Destiny,
there's
and they
still the
got better.
there's still the promise of like the free DLC and all that. Um, there's still the free DLC technically
Right?
because
Wait, what do you mean free DLC for?
for Anthem.
Oh, okay, so they are doing that. Okay.
Yeah, they're still doing that. So hopefully that does help pick up the momentum of the game again.
Mm-hmm.
Because like at least that would help that would help out the content dry spell
Mm-hmm.
as of right now. But I probably will have to give probably have to give Anthem like maybe a couple of updates to like really get some entertainment out of it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I feel like what a lot of games should do if they're going with that, oh, you pay once and you have access to the game kind of, so the pay, buy to play model, they should do what a Guild Wars 2 did, which is it's $40 for the game, and as long as you and they come out with free updates, and as long as you do them every free every dungeon that comes out is free as long as you do it within a certain time period, I think. But if you buy the game later on, you don't have access to all of them. And I think it's like $5 to $10 for each one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I'm wrong because I haven't played Guild Wars in a very long time. I really want to because I remember I really loved that game. But then after all that, they came out with another expansion, which was, I think was also $40 or $30. That just added in like a shit ton more game. And I do need to add that I don't know how long it took them to make Guild Wars after Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 2 after Guild Wars 1, but the base game for Guild Wars 2 is still huge, I guess, in comparison to what Anthem is, which is weird. Like I don't know why these AAA companies can't get games down these days. You know, it's weird. Is it some sort of disconnect with the fans?
Uh, it might. There's a lot of theories going around with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if I had to like say something concrete, it'd probably be that, as well as like they're more so concentrating on like profit margins, like trying to get something out that could possibly sell without having to put so much time and money into it to make it better.
I mean, I get that part of it, but like it's it's biting them in the ass.
Because the whole game industry is still a business.
Well, yeah,
That's
of course.
that's still the sad reality of it, though. But I feel like because of that, there's so much concentration on that business side. It's not a lot of them are not really trying to. At least a lot of the publishers are not trying to really get a feel for their audience again.
I mean, I get that, but again, look at a game like fucking Final Fantasy 14. They're making a dick ton of money just from people. Literally, let me tell you what people do in this game, Jomel, when they're bored and they're paying their $13 a month after paying $60 to get into the game initially. They're just sitting around in the main hubs, dancing around each other, like just having fun. Which there's no problem with that because again, they give you plenty of tools to have fun. There's like fucking hundreds of emotes. There's like instruments you can play. Again, tons of outfits you can play with and stuff like that, and to show off. And then the casino and all that. So there's plenty of stuff to do, but it's like you're not. I mean, you're playing the game the way you want, but you're not playing the game. The way they intended it, at the very least, or maybe they intended it. I don't know, but they're making a shit ton of money. Why can't what are they doing that other people? What are they doing right that other people can't get?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I feel like it'd be a lot better if a lot of these publishers actually communicate with each other, and then not only that, but like communicate with like a good sum of us as their clientele.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to that customer client customer. Well, I guess going back to customer service in a sense, because see, this is a really loaded question because there's a lot of things that could be fixed.
Cut out.
There's a lot of things that could be fixed.
Or whenever you're ready.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that could be fixed, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It would probably take a few years to really run down these problems.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess things like Anthem like failing, or things like Anthem having like that kind of very bad launch is what a lot of these publishers need to like really show like what they have is not enough for their clients.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of hopefully they take a lot of that into reflection, where into reflection to make better games, or to make fuller games in a sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, definitely a couple. I've used it a couple times as an example, but Final Fantasy 14 had Final Fantasy 11 to go off of, which was their previous MMO, and that one did not do very well from what I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I guess it does take a failure to be better. I mean, again, Destiny did the same thing.
Yeah.
They launched pretty bad, and then the 1 got better. And then 2 launched pretty bad, and then it got better.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, and also now, at least, and also with nowadays, Activision's out of the picture, so Bungie can be Bungie again.
Right.
So I mean, it's kind of like that because at least a lot of the news I've heard about, Activision was mostly just caught up trying to like catch up on the financial side of things, the business side of things, and that was sort of like stunting the I guess the overall experience of D2, at least back then. I don't know. I found it personally that happened to be the way, but now with Activision out of the way, there's a lot more room to just make the game fun and to make the game a lot more interesting to play now. And I was gonna say something related to that. It passed. It fucking passed me. But
yeah.
Oh god, I'm having a brain fart right now.
It's all right. It's late.
It truly is late. But it does need some work, obviously. I mean, okay, like even things like was it No Man's Sky? That was
that was a fucking train wreck.
That was one hell of a shit show of a launch.
But they came out with a game eventually.
Exactly, they stuck around and they they fixed it. Now, it's that kind of dedication. That's all dependent on the company and the companies behind the games. A lot of that is reliant on that. So that's the only thing where it's a random variable. How dedicated are these companies to their to the gamers, to their clientele. Obviously, if it doesn't show, then us gamers would show that back as well with a lot of criticisms, complaints, and overall just not buying the game.
But what point in time is it bitching and moaning?
It's okay. I can find that being true if the company themselves made an effort to fix a lot of the criticisms first time around. And that's probably where I would start drawing that line.
Okay.
So if there's been if there's a lot of, like, for example, if I were to come up to somebody and they started complaining to me about No Man's Sky now after they've done a good 2.5 years of like fixing him, like I think right now you're just that'd be a good example of just like kind of just bitching and whining at this point. Because in comparison to like how they launched the first time to now, there's a stark difference in terms of its gameplay and mechanics and just overall.
Now it's an actual game.
Exactly, yeah. Now, with Anthem, I'll give it like a year if it lasts that long, to be honest with you. if they provide enough of those free updates and change up any of the any bugs that are in question, or any or even just fixing loading screens, to be honest with you. Even something like that would be a good step in the right direction. But that's the thing, they have to actually address the problems and fix them.
I mean, I feel like they will, because Bungie was pretty gung-ho about making this game.
Wait, tell me, you mean BioWare?
Yes. BioWare was pretty gung-ho about making this game. Starts with the B, they're the same company, fuck you. Right. So I feel like they're going to try to make it better. Plus, they fucking made the Dragon Age series, right? And Mass Effect. So their talent's still there. They just gotta find it again. After I feel like Andromeda just kind of threw them for a loop, and now they're confused. They'll get it back. I believe in them. Yeah,
a bit of a identity crisis right now. Right. But all they can do is throw in that talent back into Anthem, and I'm sure in a year's time, once the base game gets heavily discounted, which I'm going to expect it going to be, it'll be worth playing during that time because of the fixes they've done. But
Mm-hmm.
as of right now, I am not. I mean, as of right now, I'm not gonna be purchasing the game. Or was it stock price at
Mm-hmm.
$60 just because it's a $30 game with a AAA price.
Right.
So I'm not about to
Mm-hmm.
buy it, spend 6 hours, and have it sit there for another year until I get content.
Mm-hmm. And I certainly agree with you there, because like it's. I thought about buying it myself, because like I said, Martrell's playing it, and I think Baja wanted to play it too, but
Mm.
I just can't.
I mean, it looks fun. Like the whole system looks fun. It just apparently you just don't have enough to do, and that's saddening to me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I wanna be like Iron Man and just start busting through whatever that comes through my way. Though apparently that can't always be the case.
I mean, it should be though. They should know that, you know. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, you got to predict the future. You just got to know what people will want out of a game. How am I trying to say? Like, they should have known that people were gonna race through it immediately. Like, if they look at literally any MMO, they could have looked at Destiny and said, "This is what they did wrong. We need to improve." But it feels like they didn't do that.
Right. Like if
So,
they probably thought that there was like a they probably thought everyone was be a casual when they were to start Anthem, which is not always the case. You know,
it's never the case.
you gotta you're always gonna have a group of what
Mm.
world first players.
Right. You're always gonna have that for literally every game that comes out these days. And I'm not necessarily saying you have to cater to them, but if you can casually beat it in 6 hours, then literally that's less than a day. I could sit down and play that right after work and then go to sleep, and I'd be done with the game. That's a problem.
Yeah, that really is, and I mean I don't know what else to say. I mean at this point I'm gonna wait. I know I said one time I would wait like maybe a
Mm-hmm.
couple of weeks, maybe until Division came out to actually play. But no, this is definitely gonna be a year wait for me.
Mm-hmm.
For at the very least, just to get anything done. So until then, I am gonna be trying to career Division 2 though. So that does come out this coming Friday.
Good
So I'm
luck with
excited for
that.
that. I
Fucking
mean, I careered the first game.
you division piece of shit. I mean, I don't have anything against the game. I haven't played it.
Oh really?
No.
Maybe you should. I mean, I feel like maybe you should join us. It'll be me, Martrell. Get some good old get us a good old squad going.
Yeah.
We'll save DC from the what are they called, the hyenas, yeah, the hyenas, and any
Uh,
imminent threat to
I don't know,
our
Jomel.
society.
Remember how the first division launched?
Oh no, I was there. I was fucking there. I was on Twitter reading up on any live updates that was going on because that day one issue was essentially just server overload, and that was
Mm.
a fucking trip. Just because like everyone had been have been having server issue. It became a meme by the end of the night. Like
Oh yeah.
that's like the server issue report became a meme by the time things got resolved.
But I mean, I feel like at this point in time, the whole thing with servers being overloaded is just well, like you said, it's now almost expected for any company or any
Yeah.
MMO to come out when it comes out.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I mean, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say with that?
Like they always underestimate how many people will actually be interested in their game,
Right. I
which
mean,
is
I get.
which is funny to me.
Is it? I mean, I feel like it's more of a business practice. You try to because you don't. What is it? You don't try to. It's kind of like if you wrote a book, and you start off with 1,000 copies versus 10,000 copies.
Right? No, I get that part of it, but like I I feel like for an MMO, it's a little different because you already have the people interested in it.
That's true, especially if you hyped it up for like a good
Right.
a couple of years.
Right. People are only gonna get upset that it's not that they can't play it.
Maybe.
Especially if they pay $60 fucking to get in, and now they can't.
Yeah, but that's one day of one. Well, there was. I mean, depending on also when it was released, because I bought it. I bought Division back in. That was I bought it on digital, so
Mm.
I was one of those people that got to downloaded that midnight or no, I think it was like yeah, I think that minute or something. And then there was like the resets like at 4 a.m. or something.
Mm-hmm.
I know the resets for Destiny is like 4 a.m. So
What do you mean reset?
like what is it? It's kind of like the daily reset for like for events and
Oh, okay, that's what you meant. Yeah, I got,
yeah.
gotcha. Sorry, I don't know. I've been, honestly, even though I've played quite a few MMOs in my time.
Right.
I've never played them long enough to get to the point where I'm doing the dailies.
Really?
Like, I can only think of maybe like a few games. There was one that was no. I do the daily. I did the daily stuff for Warframe because I'm still really into that game. I just took a break because I was sad that my computer can't really handle the Fortuna update.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody knows what that is, it's basically their second open world level. Um, so I just kind of stopped playing, and then my friends got me 14, so I played that. I haven't touched Warframe in some time, so I expect to get that 75% discount on the cash shop. So I'm gonna be cashing that bitch on in. Hopefully I get it anyway. But like I honestly have not played any MMO long enough to get to the end game because either I start it, I like it, and just it stops being fun because I don't know, for whatever reason. I get to the end game, but then realize I don't have anyone to play with, so it's just boring. Um, or I start with my friends and then they stop playing, and then I eventually stop playing, which is what happened with um, Final Fantasy 14. Otherwise, I'd still be playing. They just kind of stopped.
Well, it sounds like you need a new game, Jarron.
Yeah,
Can I recommend the Division 2 coming out in March
no, you
15th?
can't because there's no magic. It's all guns.
Exactly. We're talking about some gritty gun to gun
No.
gunplay to gunplay simulation here.
Give me an MMO version of Cyberpunk 2077 and we'll talk. I want a metal fucking mask and a samurai sword. Fuck me up. Like those cyberpunk ass metal masks that like fucking that only go around your mouth and like they're all like weird and like pointy and spiky and shit. And then and then I'll have like a metal spine or some shit and a samurai sword in the future. Yeah, fuck me up. I'm edgy. Do it. Do it. I need it. But I'm only gonna be able to get that need fulfilled in 2077. I mean, not minus a sword, but I'll have like arm spikes, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, that'll be something. But we'd have to wait for the game to come out though.
You know, when it comes out in the next fucking.
What, 3 months?
I could only pray that it comes out by December.
What, fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I can only pray, but I know it's gonna come out next year. If that. No, it's gonna come out in 2 years. It's not gonna. They're gonna wait until the fucking PS5.
We'll probably get more info on that one E3, anyway.
Hmm. I mean, we might. You never know.
True.
Because they didn't. They weren't. They're the previous E3s from before. We didn't get shit for it. But I don't know. I'm hopeful, but I just need a I just need me a good cyberpunk MMO that's not uh not Warframe or Destiny, or I guess in that case, Anthem. I need like fantasy cyberpunk. Like I need Weeby cyberpunk, where it's like steampunk ish, steampunk-y, but well, no, I guess cyberpunk is the right word for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, cyberpunk is its own thing. Because it's cyberpunk.
It's all extra and stupid. It doesn't make sense, but it's great because it's edgy. That's what I need.
It's all extra.
Yep. For example, when Code Vein comes out eventually, which is anime Dark Souls.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna fucking rub my dick all over that game because I need it. Because it's what would you call it? Fantasy punk. Where you
I don't even.
You're fucking vampire and you got this creature thing inside of you. You eat other vampires. And
I think that's just called edge punk at that point.
That's fine. I want more edge punk. Make an edge punk MMO.
There we go. We'll start a new thing. # edge punk.
Unless you want to count Final Fantasy as edge punk, because you can get pretty edgy in that game.
I don't know. It's not really. I wouldn't call that too. I wouldn't like call it too edge punk because a lot of isn't it mostly kind of steampunky or is it? It's sort of. It kind of leans on that sentiment.
It's more crystal punk.
Crystal punk.
Because Final Fantasy loves its fucking crystals and shit. Well, it's because I'd call it more fantasy punk because it's like
dragon and shit.
You can wear a suit of armor, your pauldrons, your gauntlets, your greaves, and have your sword and shield.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can be a dark knight with your giant greatsword and your jacket and your pants and your fucking mascara and your big hair and your horns and be like, yeah, look at me, I'm the fucking.
And then drive around an all-wheel drive vehicle.
Literally, no. In the next, so Jomel, in the next the next dungeon update for it, they're bringing the car from Final Fantasy 15 as a mount, so you can get that. They're doing a goddamn Nier Automata dungeon.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Where you can also like get 2B's outfit and shit.
Automata, right?
What? You mean Automata?
Automata, what?
The correct way to say that?
Yeah, it's Automata, right?
You convince me otherwise. Automata.
Automata, what?
Automata. Suck my dick.
Hey, we can both agree it's not Automata.
Yes, we can both agree it's not Automata.
Fucking swines.
But
yeah, fantasy punk.
I would call Final Fantasy punk.
Like Code Vein is like edge punk.
Final Fantasy punk.
That's what you need, Final Fantasy punk.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Look at Cloud. He's super edgy. Look, he's fucking like from the movie Advent Children. He's super edgy, and it's great. He's so damn edgy. It makes my heart feel good to know that people will always be interested in super edgy characters like that. Just for the sake of edginess. You know? It's good.
To some people, I guess. I don't know.
It's good for you. It makes your soul strong.
You are fucking right. But we do want to get also on the main topic today as well.
I mean,
a little bit.
I mean, I do. Don't get me wrong. We mentioned it last episode. We wanted to do a definitive, like, beginner's anime guide.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just jump into it.
Yeah, let's jump right in there and let's get to that. That was a beautiful segue. Oh my god, I'm tired. Okay, well, I mean, let me ask you this: when it comes to stuff like that, do you recommend retro, or stuff from like 2010s in this day and age?
Do not recommend retro because.
Well, how retro? Well, I guess better question: How retro are we talking? Because obviously there's like there's an obvious quality difference that you don't want to like just show people right away, just because like people have to get used to that in general.
Right. I'm not gonna start with someone watching Fruits Baskets. Now, don't get me wrong; it's a good anime, but it looks like fucking trash compared to what we have now.
I mean, luckily we do
get a lot of flack for saying that.
Hey, we are getting that remake though.
Yeah, we're getting that. Is it a remake? I thought it was a sequel.
No, it's a remake.
Oh, well, okay. So fuck you. The first one looks like trash, and they realize that.
Yeah. I mean, I'll admit too. I mean, anime maybe like early 2000s, maybe like way early 2000s, or like 1990s was goofy as hell.
It really was, but like, I mean, it had a certain charm. Like, the one, like the anime Alita Battle Angel. It looked good for its time.
Yeah, exactly, for its time.
But
though it's the styling itself has to be you gotta have what's the word I'm looking for? It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Especially for older stuff, like maybe Sailor Moon, like the original Sailor Moon way back then.
Sailor Moon was some fucking. I mean, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing, Jomel. The original designs felt a little bit more lively. I'll give them that.
In general, wait,
like when I say lively, I mean like.
Wait, what are you talking about? Anime or just like Sailor Moon? Okay.
Anime. When they their expressions and shit like that, they were way more. Yeah, lively is just the best way I want to say that. I mean, for example, look at Konosuba. Between the first season and the second season,
right,
where they dialed down the total quality of the animation to make it look more expressive.
Okay.
So it's that it was a bit more expressive back in the day.
Okay. I can see it. I mean, I don't know. For some reason I'm just kind of I'm going in my head to like 70s original Gundam series for some fucking reason. And like that was fucking goofy.
I don't know if I go back. I don't know if I go there, but But all right, let's actually jump into the list. All right, so in terms of retros, we can hold off on those because I feel like now, while they're classics and every veteran or anyone that wants to call themselves a fan should watch them to understand like the top quality of what we have in the anime genre. Mm-hmm. If you're not really ready to appreciate it, then I mean, sure, by all means watch them because you probably will still appreciate them, but like there's other places to start.
True. I mean the only reason why you would watch anything retro is just for the investment in the story.
Right. Exactly.
Not more so of the top notch quality in today compared to today's standards.
Right. So I think these days, in terms of popularity, in terms of like accessibility, in terms of understandableness, I think Boku no Hero Academia is the perfect entrance into the anime community.
No objection to that. Not at all, actually. It's I mean, it's like we mentioned last time. You can't go wrong with any shonen or action series, right?
You really can't, because they all have the same basic idea. It's very simple to understand. You don't have to break out your fucking Japanese culture understanding to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that's what it is. In fact, it's styled after the idea of Marvel heroes in the first place. So like, it's pretty understandable to a Western audience. Minus people hating Mineta. People hate Mineta.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm fully aware of that. I mean, besides the character, have you actually heard his English voice actor do him?
I have not.
It's okay. I don't know. See, it's like they made him even more annoying in the English dub, which is probably brilliant because of his character.
I mean, he's supposed to be that character,
but he's so, I don't know how to explain it. It's
gross.
Yes, exactly. He's fucking disgusting. Like, because one of the things that they change is that for the first English dub, they gave him a lisp.
What?
They gave him a lisp.
Give him a fucking lisp. What?
Like
what?
we're talking full on Mike Tyson right now.
I'm gonna have to listen to him. Oh my god. What?
Yeah. They gave him a fucking lisp.
See, this is the one thing that I do like about one of the many things I do like about English dubs is that they tend to have fun with what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Whereas if they are having fun in Japanese, we probably won't catch it.
Right. I mean, I gave you a bit of a link, if you so that you can listen to it on your end. Because I don't want to be copyrighted on my end since I'm recording it.
But like, I don't know. Like, I honestly feel like it's just a really easily organic. Like, it's just easy to swallow.
No, yeah, honestly, it's
kind of anime. Because
I mean, back then back in the day, I didn't actually want to watch it just because, like, you know, I was sort of just over shonen in general. But there's something like it's not too basic where it's boring, but it's not too complicated to like. It's not too complicated to get to ingest all of its content at once. Seeing as that there is gonna be like 3 seasons right now, you know.
Right.
That's where I'm at with it. It's kind of like I mean, I don't know if it's right. I don't know if it's comparable, but like it's kind of like a good old Dragon Ball back in the day, ish. I don't know. Don't you think? Wouldn't you think Dragon Ball?
In the
Dragon Ball
terms,
series
it was just easy to understand and likable characters just to latch on to. Yeah. Because Dragon Ball back in the day was there's a kid, he's got powers. There's Bulma, she's a slut. That's me. She's free spirited and likes to show her underwear to old men. It wasn't a hard to understand concept. It was foreign, definitely.
Right. At least to the Western audience.
To a Western, no. I mean, even now, it's still pretty foreign.
Oh yeah.
Or because when I say foreign, I don't mean like in like how like, oh, it's anime. What's anime? Blah blah blah. I mean, foreign is in it's comedy. Because again, the whole thing with Bulma showing her underwear to fuck is this? No.
Roshi.
Yes. God damn. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm showing my wannabe colors right here. I fucking forgot Roshi's name. Yes, Master Roshi. And just kind of other smaller things that a Western audience wouldn't understand and would immediately call problematic. Which, I mean, you could argue is, but again, you know, that's a debate for another time.
Right. But okay, so going back a little bit. So so I mean, what do you think, Jarron? Would you say is where people should, if you got some newcomers, where do you think they should stay within when it comes to like a timeline of like when anime came out? Because we just talked about how we can't go super retro just because they can't necessarily appreciate as much.
Well, I mean, it's not so much that you can't appreciate. It's like a lot of those older shows are long as hell.
Yeah,
like you can't just be like, all right, hey, you want to start anime? Watch Naruto. Like, okay.
Like, all 500 episodes.
Have fun with that. Yeah. Plus Shippuden, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not gonna set you up with that. Like, unfortunately, like as good as Naruto was in terms of when it started, it's like it's had its time, unfortunately, and I mean, unless newer people are willing to take that dive, or have at least been watching it on and off, I just personally could not recommend it unless you're ready to
invest.
To invest, yeah, no, that's the exact word, because a new person isn't ready to invest. They want to see a show and be like, all right, this is good.
Yeah, they want to taste, right?
They want to taste. Boku no Hero Academia can be tasted in 3 seasons. See,
yeah, 25 episodes each. You know, it's a good taste. Right. Now hentai.
Well, see, look, you got to be in otaku territory.
I mean, what if they were just
fully appreciate hentai.
What if they were curious though? What if you get some newcomers that are curious about hentai? Like the lost lambs that are making their way towards this road to hell.
You don't jump into hell the first fucking time the door opens, dude.
But you kind of want to like check it out, like, oh, this is hell. I'd peek my head in, maybe I don't know, talk to a few demons, that kind of thing.
I mean, I guess. I mean, do you if you want to do that? But like, I feel like you're getting out of sequence at that point.
I mean, I commend them for being adventurous. To be honest with you.
I mean, you'll be adventurous, but here's how that process should always be broken down. You start getting into anime, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily know about hentai because you haven't started looking up things about the characters in anime. As soon as you Google search and you search far down enough, you forgot to turn your safe search on, you'll find it. You'll find it naturally. It's a natural progression of the anime fan. Every single, like, we tiered it before. It was like casual. It was normie, casual,
wannabe,
otaku. I guess. I mean, I don't know, maybe, and then weeaboo.
Yeah.
Once you start getting into the wannabe territory, that's when you start noticing something's up. Like, wait a second. What's all
I
this
guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm a bit of an advocate for educating those early on, Jarron.
You don't teach a 5-year-old how to fucking
what?
You don't send a 5-year-old to sex ed.
Well, obviously no, but like it's
That's
not
equivalent, Jomel.
Yeah, there's they don't even take it that much time to start getting into that realm.
You gotta at least get it. Like, you can't just be like, oh, is it? Because see, here's the thing: if you throw someone new to anime into hentai, they'll think they're one and the same. They're not.
Oh, this is true. That's probably true.
You have to know where the limit is.
Well, that's why you have to educate them. Like, what,
Yeah, but
like,
they have to discover it, otherwise they won't understand. Because if you look at something like Queen's Blade or Akisora or stuff like that, you'll be like, oh yeah, no, that's hentai. It's not. That's anime. It's just fucking. It's almost there.
It really.
See, you can only understand it through experience.
I guess, but then I feel like you need to, get some guidance, especially when you start going towards that territory, like, the ecchi things and
natural progression. Because you watch your shonen anime, or you start off with a romance one. Maybe most people start shonen, so let's be honest.
I mean, I start with romance.
Maybe you'll go to your dramas. Let's see, I would recommend Toradora for a start to drama. Because it's the animation quality is still up there. It's still, it's a good love story, stuff like that.
That's true. It's relatively easy to understand.
Digest.
Yeah.
Your first introduction into tsunderes. A big introduction to tsunderes.
Yeah, because
I feel like you can't watch Konosuba right off the bat, though. I think
probably
you have to stew in the isekai genre for that one.
Probably, yeah, most likely. At least a little bit,
As much as I fucking love it. Oh no, you can't appreciate Love Is War either. I would recommend the shit out of that immediately because that's such a good show.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. It's one of those slapstick comedies that you would need, like,
But then again,
pretty.
The comedy's almost like westernized enough.
But But are you saying that because you have experience with it, or?
That's the thing. I don't know.
Exactly, because we can't necessarily start giving someone comedies based on what we think is funny, because obviously comedy is subjective.
Yeah.
And it may not be as funny as what other people, or especially a newcomer, might think.
Right. That's a good point. It's a little hard to recommend.
Now, John, one question for you: when do you start recommending somebody Clanad? Or anything key related? How about this? Yeah.
All right. So once they've learned to take it slightly seriously, once they get into it, because it's hard to watch something like Clanad because of the old art style. The one thing I always hear from people that start with Clannad relatively early in their anime careers. Like, the eyes are too so far apart, they look stupid. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I mean,
like, yeah, but
back in the because I did remember reading a bit about when Clannad first came out live. A lot of it was similar to, I mean, not just the art style, but it was sort of given like the SEO hate treatment way back in the day. So, just like it was based off the light novel, and then people were like, I guess, hopping onto the anime, and there's the the light novel people commenting on such things as well.
But does that mean SAO is gonna be like a gym later on?
It could fucking possibly be.
Wait, did people hate .hack when it first came out?
Did they?
I don't know. I wasn't a fan when it first came out.
We probably have to look at the forums back, way back in the day, but
Yeah. Fuck, that's actually a good question, because if people hated .hack back then, but people love it nowadays, or old people like it nowadays.
So it's retrograding. That's what it is.
Is it? Yeah, I think it's retrograding. I mean, I always thought .hack was boring as fucking balls, but for a game about being stuck in a game, it was boring as shit. Like, god damn, the things move slow in that game or that anime. And then I guess I don't know. I would also recommend SAO.
Yeah. As much flack as it gets, loudly, it's not a bad series to start off with.
It's really not. Like, I was...
and because of that, Jarron, we just lost all of our viewers.
Yeah, but look, we should be mature enough to understand that I'm right when I say that SAO is not as bad as people making it out to be. Kirito's as bad as we know.
I mean, we had a whole podcast about that, actually. Right. He's just a boring MC.
He's just
or normie.
But to someone that's not used to anime, watching it for the first time,
it's relatable.
They'll like it more than we would.
Yeah, because they're not looking. They're not. There's not as high expectations, I guess you'd say.
Right. Exactly. So that's why I would recommend that. So that Gun Gale, probably not Alicization.
I don't know. Alicization is pretty much up there if you watched everything else. That's the thing.
No, but like the rape, the sex elf. It's like, because I saw that clip where it was like that purple haired elf god, whatever she is, like she's just naked. Her whole scene is just like, do something, blah blah blah, whatever. And my body's yours. Was that real?
That's the Pontifex. She's the fucking antagonist of the entire series. Yes.
Well, yeah.
She's exactly. She's okay. See, Jarron, you have to understand the context here.
People aren't ready for that.
I guess. I guess it's the same thing. You can't just put people in Goblin Slayer.
Right, you can't just throw someone in the first episode of Goblin Slayer like, what the fuck's going on?
I fucking did though. I recommended it. I recommended it. They got into it, but that was like one of those lucky moments.
Well, I mean, even then, I think maybe Goblin Slayer, because of its grittiness, people can recognize it if they like things like Game of Thrones. Maybe
that's true. How about Berserk though?
You could probably jump in and be ready for it.
What about Berserk though?
Berserk's a really good show, but because of how long it is, because isn't it like 40-something episodes?
Well, the movies, and then there's that terrible CG TV series.
We don't talk about that one. No one talks about that one, except to shit on it.
Because there is the 80s one, the 80s series.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I think it's like around that many episodes. I'd have to look it up though.
Fuck, which one is it? Is it
I don't know, 1997. Sorry, it's a 90s.
Damn.
Kenpu Denki Berserk. It's about 25 episodes actually.
Oh yeah. All right, 25. It's not that long. It's feature length. 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Worth of anime. So yeah, I
plus you have the movies too, because I mean the movies are also the movies are just a remaster of the series of the of the 97 series, so you can go either way. To be honest with you.
True. In terms of retro, if you were recommending a retro one to people, like maybe to an older audience, I would recommend Berserk.
Yeah, it's true.
But like to people that are like, oh yeah, I've got a lot of TV shows under my belt. I've watched. I wouldn't send a bright-eyed person to watch fucking Berserk.
Yeah.
If someone's like, yeah, I loved Game of Thrones, like, yeah, go watch Berserk. You'll like it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, how about Moe?
Moe's a little well, no, people can recognize cute things.
Yeah.
I love Nichijoyu so much, and it's pretty Moe, but it's also like
it's got that kind of comedy though you kind of have to get,
Yeah, I was gonna say that one's like Japanese comedy, like fucking 502.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's up there.
Like it's almost up there to like meme language in a sense.
Speaking of memes, I would fucking recommend Pop Team Epic. Oh my god!
I don't think anybody will be ready. I don't think anybody will be ready for that anime.
You can't. It's impossible. Like, I don't even know if I'd call the jokes Japanese. Okay, a lot of them are very Japanese, but like, also a lot of them are just fucking stupid.
I mean, isn't that the point though of Pop Team Epic?
Yeah, it's the point. It's fucking dumb, but it's great. I would recommend Nichijoyu once you've had a few comedies under your belt.
But which ones though? Which one do you think? Because how do you prep some up for that, for like Japanese-esque comedy at that point?
That's a good question. I think you have to.
Because what's a comedy? Because I can't think of a comedy on top. I'm going through a bunch of lists right now.
Well, there's that one that you introduced me to. It's
Which
Daily
one?
Life of High School Boys.
I don't think I introduced you, but I do remember.
You introduced me to that one.
Did I?
I think so.
Probably
Maybe.
then.
I don't know.
But yeah, I
recommend that one.
Okay.
It's not that hard to understand.
That's true.
It's just.
Let's see. Let's go to comedy. Damn, there's 5,517 comedies
don't fucking
here.
try to go through just search comedy and find
yes.
something. No,
I'm gonna find something right.
You're a goddamn fool. That's what you are.
I know. Jesus Christ.
I'd recommend stuff like.
How about Shin-chan? Going way back.
You want to get cancerous? There's fucking like I like Pop Teen Epic, but fucking Shin-chan was straight cancer.
I mean, even the English dub was even hilarious. It was hilarious back when it aired on Adult Swim. Back in the day.
It's pretty good, but like, goddamn, is that show fucking like that's literally the Japanese equivalent to like a Family Guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that is its direct comparison.
Mm-hmm. How about Dragon Maid?
Dragon Maid's a good introduction into ecchi and comedy in moe. So yeah, I'd recommend Dragon Maid.
Oh yeah, that'd be something. Now, what about your first Edge series?
Edge series?
Yeah, like edgy series. Like we're talking about like your Full Metals, The Gray Man, maybe Death Note.
I would. So here's the thing with Fullmetal Alchemist. I've still yet to see Brotherhood. Shoot me in the face if you want. I do need to watch it. I will at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen most of the first one, which isn't bad despite what people fucking say. It's still good. It's just not what the manga did. If you're again looking to invest, I'd go with either Brotherhood or. I don't even know if I can say regular Fullmetal Alchemist.
I mean just Full Metal probably.
Okay, we'll call that one Full Metal and the other one just Brotherhood.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'd recommend Full Metal and or Brotherhood because they're such different stories that you could literally watch them both and just treat them as two different shows.
Yeah, it's just one's canon and one's not. I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, one's a manga canon. I guess you'd say.
Yeah, but you still get the Brotherhood's definitely higher quality from what I understand, but Full Metal's not too far behind.
Yeah, that's true.
So I recommend that for an investment in a serious show, like for your flagship show. So like you've tested the waters a little bit, but now you're ready to set sail. Jump on Full Metal Alchemist.
I don't know. I think also Death Note's also pretty flagship in its own right.
It is.
Because it's one of those like what? I mean, it's sort of like a murder mystery, but it's more so just how far can Light Yagami go?
Right. And in terms of edge show, yes, that would definitely be it's edgy as shit.
Are you remembering the good old days when you used to see people carrying around Death Note of their own?
God. Don't remind me.
Did you used to carry a Death Note around?
No.
No.
I never had the money to buy one. I was a poor weeb.
That's okay. I mean, I feel like most weebs would be poor in general, at least when starting out.
No, I mean, there's some rich weebs. There's Melon Pan.
Oh yeah, fuck.
His
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Spurg ass.
I thought he was Swedish.
I said Spurg.
Yeah, isn't he Swedish?
No, Spurg is an insult.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
But he is Swedish, though, isn't he?
Yes, I think. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think.
I don't watch his videos, so I don't know.
I remember a story coming out that what is it? The Swedish government confiscated his hentai.
Yeah, he went to Japan and came back, and he had a bunch of I think he had some body pillows and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that they got confiscated, and I thought that was funny.
Yeah, exactly. That's only another reason why we need hentai for all, guys. Come on, we need that.
I mean, I'm gonna stop if you fucking come out of a plane with a fucking body pillow of a lolly. I'm gonna stop you myself.
I don't think he had stuff on him. I don't think there's a carrying. I don't think he can just because of carrying capacity.
You never know.
I don't know. I'm not about to judge. I mean, I'm not one to judge openly.
I'm judging.
I'll judge. I mean, I'll judge normally, but I'm not about to stop you in the middle of my job and start questioning you about the questionable body pillow you have on your arms. And so who's this? Are you?
I'm a fucking come at your life, boy. I'm come right for your throat.
Oh wait, you know what? There's one thing I forgot completely.
What?
I know you and I never really get into this type of series, but sports animes.
Oh yeah. Sports animes are a good one for.
Yeah, they're pretty generally easy, just because especially if you're into sports in general, that'd be a good what is it? It's a good way to relate to a series because you understand the sport, and I guess you can get into a hyper version of it.
Zone.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like was it Haikyuu? That's a popular volleyball one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the volleyball one's really good. The sumo one is good. No, I don't watch the sumo one unless you're ready.
How about the badminton one?
The badminton one. Which one's that?
Fuck. What was his name?
Wait, I feel like
It's the one. It's the one you were raving about way back.
Oh, Haikyuu. Oh my god, dude.
No, we just said Haikyuu.
No. I said Hinomaru Sumo. That's what I said. Haikyuu's the one where it was the badminton one.
Haikyuu is the volleyball one.
Wait, no. What was the? Oh no, what was that one called? It came out like 2 seasons ago. I gotta find it again. God, that was so good.
Yeah,
it was so damn good.
What year was that? Was that 2018? That was definitely 2018, right?
That was it was pretty recent. I would recommend that one because that's a pretty solid sports anime. I would recommend. See,
Hanebado.
There we go. That Kuroko no Basket. I'd recommend. I wouldn't ever recommend Free. Not until you're ready.
I mean, well, yeah.
Because I guess Free's a good sports anime, but it's also really fucking it's yaoi bait.
No, I guess that's people's. What is it? That's people's a gateway to yaoi.
I mean, yeah, sure, by all means. I mean, if you're into that, but I wouldn't recommend it to as an opener to most people. Actually, really anyone, because I mean, I wouldn't touch it with a 6-foot pole. I recommend Free though. Free's really good.
It is pretty good though. I would have to admit that.
Not Free. Yuri on Ice.
You're on your record. Yeah. Yuri on Ice is a good one.
Yuri on Ice. That's what I meant to say. fuck you, Free.
No, yeah. Yuri on Ice is a good one because it's one of those few performing arts and sports animes that actually succeeded and did pretty well.
Right.
I mean, if you've never been in ice skating, I guess this is a good way to get to understand it a little bit because they did quite a bit to explain some ice skating a little bit.
Right. And
so
who cares about any of that? Just that fucking opener.
That was that. Of course. If I remember correctly, that opening was hand animated by one person.
Really?
Yeah, it was key animated by one person.
That's really fucking swanky.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said before, free is yaoi bait. Yuri on Ice is just straight up yaoi, which is fine. Don't fucking look. I have enough from fucking Yuri bait animes. I don't need like
yeah, right.
I don't need it to be from dudes as well. Like,
I'm talking about minority friends.
Don't. Yes. Fucking just fuck already. But that's neither here nor there.
There's also Yowamushi Pedal. That's a biking series as well.
True. You could recommend that one.
I guess generally a lot of sports animes are generally pretty good. At least like was it the mainstream ones, like Kuroko no Basket. That's one of the. I mean, that's also another hyper version of like basketball because no one hell anything in that series makes any sense in terms of actual basketball.
I would put that one a little later because Kuroko no Basket does that whole thing where it's like I pass the ball and there's lasers and shit, doing all my eyes glow. I disappear under your legs and shit. Like they animeify basketball where it's literally just. I guess would start with like the Haikyuu, the volleyball one, where they kind of do it, but not as much hard.
not it's like it's almost a level of edge, right?
Right. It's like
it's almost at that level of edge.
It's an edgy basketball. Man, you're right.
Oh god.
Yeah, so that's what I would do as a graduation into anime sports. You understand where it can be technical, like with Hanebado and Yuri on Ice.
Mm-hmm.
It can be shonen hypey with Haikyuu and the biking one, and then there's straight up fucking Kamehameha blast basketball with Kuroko no Basket.
Oh, actually, how about like well, I don't know about Megalobox, but like how about like the good old fashioned like Hajime no Ippo? That's a little bit classy, like 2000s classic.
See, the problem with that one is it's getting into the animation.
That's true. So you think like Megalobox would be easier to digest?
I think Megalobox would definitely be easier to digest.
And then when you're finally ready, oh wait, I forgot this one exists too. I mean, if you're into like the giraffe neck style, Ballroom Iyokuzo is.
I need to see that because like fucking that blonde lady. Oh my god, she's pretty.
It's a beautiful series though. Like it's it's one of those beautiful like performing arts series. I read the manga. The manga, like reading the manga is no justice than watching the series because like you actually get to see the dancing unfold before you.
Right.
And you get to actually understand what the hell's going on because reading it on a page versus like actually seeing it in motion. Having them dance the way they're supposed to dance. That's a whole different experience.
The giraffe mating dance, yes.
I mean, if you can get past the art style, the unique art style of ball. I mean, to be honest, they actually got the art style pretty on point compared to the manga, which is not a bad thing, but it is quite a bit of a digestion.
Yeah.
And then when you guys whenever you guys get really ready and graduate to like I don't know, maybe Wannabe Keijo would be the next one to like.
Oh boy, see,
delve into.
No, you also have to go through. There's 3 things you have to go through. You have to go through sports anime and shonen. You have to get through ecchi. You have to become numb to it.
Numb to ecchi. That's true.
You have to become numb to it because otherwise it's going to distract you too much from what it is. Because the ecchi is the point. It's the joke.
Yeah.
For Keijo. And then
you have to be numb enough to actually laugh at it. That's
right, you have to be numb enough to laugh at it versus be like, oh, this is stupid. I'm not gonna watch this. It's just I'm hitting it, like that. And then what is it? And then just being able to deal with the shonen hype bullshit that comes with some sport. No. You have to get through like stuff like Kuroko no Basket where it's like they're taking something you can conceptually understand someone playing and then turning it into something, turning it into Dragon Ball Z.
Right. In this case, and evolving it to Keijo, you have to understand that that's a thing.
Right, like someone fucking using their titties to hypnotize people, or like make their nipples hard to turn you into a fucking super duper uber person,
or
or giving
summon,
yourself a wedgie,
or summoning like a giant gate of just fucking ass,
right?
like a plethora of ass just kind of comes out of nowhere.
You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. You can't just jump into that one and expect. Well, you know what? No, I gotta give people some bit of the now. Some people can jump into the KJO and get it,
That's true.
but
Some
like
do.
I don't think many
That's,
people could.
I mean, that would be my first choice. Like if someone asked me like any kind of sport anime, I wouldn't go with Keijo right away.
No.
That'd probably be like my fifth recommendation if they're really depending how they take the other ones.
Yeah.
Because that's. I mean, because with something like Keijo, you can't take it too seriously. You gotta have fun with it.
If you take it seriously, you're done. I mean, but see, no, here's a level. There's a level of I don't get it to, I can't take this seriously to, this is fun, or this is funny because you get the joke, and then you take it seriously as the sport itself. Like you completely numb out everything else. You're like, yeah, they're using the butt gattling is the most effective way to, they get too into it.
I mean, I don't really mind those kind of people. I guess as long
know
as
if
they're
you
having
wanna meet
fun.
someone like that. I don't know if I
Oh,
want to
I mean,
meet someone that's like analyzing the sport Keijo itself. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I kind of want to meet the people in Argentina that made it into an actual sport.
Fair.
Is it Argentina? I don't know if it was Argentina. I know a fucking country actually decided to make it into an actual sport. I'm like, you fucking weebs. The entire country's full of weebs. What the fuck?
Fucking weebs, right?
We're changing the world one country at a time. We're weebing the world up one country at a time, ladies and gentlemen.
Just like God intended.
Exactly. We're doing God. They are doing God's work, and we are progressing that transformation. We are coming to an age where people are now becoming enlightened. Jarron. Right. This is how. Yeah, exactly. We will show them the word of hentai. I don't know, word of anime.
Word of booty.
There you go. The word of booty.
What would you recommend in terms of like a good drama series?
Ooh, drama.
Like we already mentioned Toradora, which has some drama, but that's more romantic drama. But I mean,
drama and romance gonna go hand in hand.
But I mean, like
times.
In the sense of like kind of Made in Abyss kind of drama, if you want to call that drama. Maybe thriller, like a good thriller.
I mean, if I want to go basic, Attack on Titan.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Just because it gives, I mean, there's action, but it also gives enough of like kind of a oh shit moment. It has a lot of oh shit moments, especially that first season. It really hooks you in it when it comes to those kind of moments. So I mean, Attack on Titan would be good. Other than that, maybe like
I'd say
drama.
Similar to that. Remember that one? What the fuck is it called? Combinary of the Iron Fortress.
I remember that one.
Steampunk zombies.
Yeah, I remember. Well, zombie vampire. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, it's not a bad one either. Yeah, that would definitely be good. I feel like that's more so on the action side than it is drama. Because they really lightly brush over just the vampire zombies in general. But that's a good one. That's not a good one. But in terms of other drama, I mean, if I had to pick, what's this doing here? What's I don't know why this is in here for drama.
Oh, you know what? Fucking Grimgar, baby. There's your introduction
to
drama,
isekai,
and the fantasy genre all wrapped up into one nice little fucking disappointing package that it doesn't have a fucking season 2.
Yeah, I know, right? You guys read light novels.
You get your first fucking your pain of not having a season 2, like that fucking gut wrenching pain.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, you know what? Maybe. Oh, I don't know about this one. Shakugan no Shana. It gets pretty dramatic.
It does get pretty dramatic. That's another one of those investment ones. But yes, I get where you're coming from. Where it's like, that's your. I would say that would be your. a good introduction into an anime.
What do you mean by that?
Where it holds a lot of different genres. Where it's a romance, it's an action thriller, it's a comedy, it's a bunch of stuff wrapped into one little package. Where it just has a lot of different materials from various other shows.
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, there's another good one. If you also want something a little more gritty as well, like back in the day, gritty. Eureka 7 is another good one. I mean, granted, it's one of those long watches. There's 50 episodes, but it kind of the animation holds up. Bones' animation style has obviously changed throughout the years, but their animation style even back in 2005 still holds up today. Because Eureka 7 is one of those series where it's got robots, it's got a good amount of romance, good amount of drama, and there's the whole grittiness of war against the world against aliens in a sense. It's not Evangelion, but it's sort of towards that way if you kind of want something of that nature.
Right.
Because Evangelion's one hell of a trip already as it is. So if you want something a little bit easygoing with robots and a little bit of some weird shit, but kind of like a pretty good watch in terms of just storytelling as well as character interactions and character development, Eureka 7's another good one. I always like recommending when it comes to those kind of series.
All right, Jomel. Ultimate question: open or ecchi?
Wait, what?
Baby's first ecchi.
Baby's first ecchi. Ooh, man, this is gonna be a tough one. You know what? I'm gonna have to go with an old classic. Kiss Exis.
I don't know. I think that one's a little advanced.
No, I want to work my way up down. You know what I mean? I want to show them what's the worst it can get when it comes to ecchi, and then and then scale down. That's like top. That's like if hentai had a line. That's literally on the line.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Down. You can push further if you're going for that. Like I said, you can go for your Seiko no Quasars, your Queen's Blades.
You could, depending. Well, okay. How about this? When it comes, it all depends on what they want. If they want action, I probably Seiko no Quasar.
Yeah.
Because it's it's cool. It's got a cool concept, but you got breast milk.
Yeah. Right.
That's it. If you want a little bit more, slice of life and kind of just funny to watch in general, you got Kiss Exis. That's my thing.
Right. I mean, I was gonna say you could start with Shimoneta as a good introduction to ecchi anime.
That's true. Just joking around, joking with sexuality.
Yeah.
What about Kill la Kill?
Kill la Kill, that's an advanced anime because if you focus too much on the ecchi part of it, then you're missing the point. So I couldn't recommend that one. At least not starting off. You can get there, but Kill la Kill is Kill la Kill's for people with high IQs.
Of course. Okay, but for real though, in terms of first ecchi, I probably have to go maybe class. Oh, I don't know. I want to stay away from classics just because they have to appreciate the classics.
Prison School.
That's a little hard. Don't you think that's a little hardcore?
It's pretty hardcore. I don't know. Prison School is like in its tier of its own because to this day I've not found an anime like it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting to say the least. God damn. To
say the very least. Like that's one unique ass art style, and then on top of that, it's
what they do.
Its material is fucking up there.
Yeah, it's fucking there. Actually, you know what? How not to summon a demon lord.
Okay, as baby's first ecchi. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I mean, there's a good amount of ecchi, and then you also still got the isekai series. You got fantasy in there.
Yeah.
And we even got some comedy a little bit, but you got that trifecta right there: ecchi, fantasy. Oh, and also that's also the first harem as well.
Right.
That could be a good first harem.
Good.
So you got that trifecta right there: ecchi, fantasy, harem. If you wanna get, that's like one of the tags you kind of want to get if you want to I guess basic ecchi stuff. I guess. So I was gonna recommend To Love Ru, but that's a little bit classic in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, again, quality still stands up, but again, that's one of those investment ones. Granted, it's broken up into seasons, but there's still a lot.
It's
There is a
definitely
lot up to Love Root. Was there five? I think we talked about it before. There's 5, 6 seasons now.
there's let's see, I think there's
One,
4.
two.
I think there's 4. I think
No,
Loveru, Multi Loveru, Darkness Second. Yeah, it's 4.
I thought there was more. There was more in between.
I mean, there's the OVAs. I know.
Maybe
I remember
that's what I'm thinking
those.
about.
Yeah, there's OVAs. That's why. Cause it's To Love Ru, Multi To Love Ru, To Love Ru Darkness, and To Love Ru Darkness Second. So it's 4 series. It's a lot of fucking accidental panty shots.
Yeah, but that's the bread and butter.
Of ecchi?
Yeah, back that's where it was. The panty shots falling.
That's true, but I don't know.
Chest.
For like a first time though, I feel like I don't know how people might take it. It's either you take it as annoying or you take it as just questionable.
I mean, because see, but here's the thing: if you tell someone, hey, you want to watch, how do you recommend an ecchi anime though, Jomel? That's the thing.
It's funny. You say that.
Yeah, but
I guess.
Can you really say that?
I mean, that's how I recommended Zombie High School of the Dead. It's a pretty cool zombie survival series, and I just never mentioned the tip.
About the ecchi until they watch it.
Yeah, no, I didn't actually
like what the fuck.
I didn't actually tell them about the tit part, the tits or anything like that. I mean, let's see. I feel like, to be honest, I feel like for you to ever recommend ecchi, you kind of have to like not mention the ecchi part.
Well, no, because like again, for Shimoneta, you can literally just say it's a funny take on what would happen if the world banned porn and anything sexual at all. It just becomes all one big sex joke, and that's the whole anime.
Yeah, that's true. But you're not recommending it because it's an ecchi series.
Yes, I am.
But you're not vocalizing it is because of that.
I said it is a sex joke.
Oh, okay.
That's the vocalization.
Wait, is it
a sex joke? Think about it. Every one of their gags is a sex joke.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess the entire series can be considered a sex joke.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point of it.
Sexual suppression. That's what. Right. That's what that is.
It kind of goes hand in hand.
True. I don't know. I feel like if you really want to fuck someone up, just show them Monster Masamune.
Alright, well, look.
Monster Masamune? Yeah.
Is that one of those ones where you have to be ready to watch it?
Definitely. I honestly think you have to be ready for those.
But other than the monster part, it's a regular ecchi harem.
But that's the thing. It's sort of, it has to go around the fact that they're all monsters too.
That's true. Cause it's the whole point. Yeah, it'd be a ride there, just to introduce someone to it.
You know what? Just go. You know what? I'll end the argument here. Chobits. There we go. Done. 2002 classic series right there.
Super bare bones. I mean, not bare bones. It that's getting into the fucking Clamp series. I don't. That's a whole universe to fucking pick and poke at.
I mean, it's only 26 episodes. It's not that bad.
Yeah, there's Chobits, and then you're like, all right, well, I like this super old kind of cute art style. Is there any more like this? Yeah, go watch XXX Holic. Like, what does that mean? It just means ... Holic. And then, what are all these references? All right, go watch Cardcaptor Sakura. All right, now go watch Tsubasa Chronicles. Now watch them all again in order.
It's just a giant it's an endless spiral of references.
Yeah, it's just they literally create their own universe, which I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend just as a general anime in terms of fantasy and adventure, Shingeki no Bahamut.
Mm.
And then later on, what's it called? Fuck is it called? The second one, Virgin Soul. I would recommend that after that. It is fucking good. And then Minari Friends, of course, because Greya.
Of course.
She's a precious bean. Absolute precious bean.
But we have been going for a bit, guys. Obviously, there's a lot of different recommendations we can go off of, but these are you can actually take a lot of our recommendations to heart because a lot of these are kind of genuinely what we think a lot of newcomers would recommend. Obviously, I don't think there's any newcomers that listen to us right now, but if you if you are a newcomer, then you're welcome for some advice.
A couple of my friends are pieces of shit, and they watch some anime, but not a lot, so they could get a lot of that. Get a lot out of that list.
There we go.
Make it this far, you pieces of shit, because you don't watch my goddamn. You don't watch my podcast.
You mean listen? Yeah, I know. That's unfortunate. It's okay, because we still have about we've gotten about 1,400 total downloads as of this recording, because we're so fucking proud of ourselves.
Right, someone's watching.
Exactly. We're at 1460. That's fucking beautiful. I don't know who the hell any of you people are, but we want to thank you guys again for listening, for downloading us, because we can't. Oh god, my voice is starting to give out. We can't have done any of this without you guys. Before we close out here, a bit of a fun fact. John, our most downloaded podcast so far has been episode 9, which is the Butthurt and the Frank series episode.
Good.
Because Futoshi did nothing wrong.
Exactly. I will forever be proud of that fucking episode. I love it.
Because the highest downloads and highest views, apparently. That's fucking beautiful. Oh man. But thank you guys again. Thank you for your support. And of course, as always, my name is Jomel Socorro.
My name is Jarron Gaddis.
And we are the Wannabe Boo Podcast, bringing the latest and greatest game and anime news, reviews, and waifus for life.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you next time.